Hi, you guys. Hello and welcome. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am. Just in great spirits today. I was just walking with my dad down the Serpentine Greenway around here. It's just one of our local parks. And we found this beautiful cast iron plant rack, and I just wanted to show you guys because I'm quite thrilled with how that turned out. I even got my decorative pots and stuff. Yeah, so today I just really wanted to talk about this here is called Gazania or Gazania, also known as Gazania rigens. So this over here is in the Asteraceae family. It's named after Theodore of Gaza, which was a political figure in Gaza in about, I think, 1340, maybe a little bit later. Just a little bit of a history of this plant. So now this here is quite well known in southern parts of Africa. It's native to South Africa as well as Lesotho and Mozambique. And it's been naturalized on Zanzibar, parts of Tanzania, as well as Malawi and Zimbabwe. And it's found its way in Mediterranean climates such as Malta and Sardinia and also the Canary Islands and Azores. This plant here has circumnavigated the globe because it's quite resilient. It's very well adapted to drought conditions, and it's very tolerant of swings in temperature, and it's also really quite a light savvy plant. So it does really well in a wonderful array of different light conditions, anywhere from almost full shade to full sun. Now, one thing I will say is this plant here does like amazingly well. Like it needs almost no nutrition in the soil. It's just a really light feeder, so you can have really porous kind of airy and infertile soils, and this plant here will do just fine for you. Um, it's totally inedible, so it's completely an ornamental plant. It's more of like a desert kind of dwelling plant. It likes rock gardens, little outcrops in the soil that are a little exposed. It doesn't like to be moved a whole lot, but it tends to do very well with conditions where you get kind of a long summer. I think that this plant here is more of a summery plant, definitely more of a hot climate temperature plant. And just a few really interesting things about this plant is they have this kind of woolly, almost white, as you can see here, backing of the leaves. They have entire margins, just these really strappy leaves. I think a lot of people don't find them very aesthetically pleasing just because it's a messy looking plant, but I personally really like it. I think they complement the flower structure really well. And another really interesting thing I want to say about this plant, and I'm probably going to make another video on it just to show you guys the subtle differences in its anatomy, is much like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a prayer plant or like a maranta or something that closes its flowers at night. Maybe a blue potato bush, something along the lines of that, but this plant does that too. So I don't know if you can see, but the individual flowers are already starting to close for the night. I think that's pretty cool. This plant here blooms all throughout August. Where I live, it blooms into September. In its natural habitat, you'll find it blooming more in July and a little bit earlier, especially in places that get very intense light. This plant here fares best in 7 to 12 hours of daylight per day. The more the merrier. It really is quite a light savvy plant, but it will survive in areas that are a little bit shadier. So this here comes in several different colors. It comes in pink, comes in pink and white, it comes in red, it comes in this beautiful fiery orange. It comes in almost like a bluish kind of gray cream color, which is really cool. And it comes in reds and just really fiery colors. So in the genus Gazania, you have several different flower sizes, but they all have quite similar forms to them. Usually they have upwards of 10 petals. This particular variety I have here has an average of 12 petals and 24 sepals directly below those in the receptacle of the flower. A lot of them are fragrant. They're not edible, unfortunately. They're cold hardy to about 5 degrees Celsius, so you want to protect them from the cold and from frost. And good drainage is definitely the best thing you can do for gazanias, or gazanias if you want to say it that way. And you can divide the clumps and keep them as short-term perennials if you really take good care of them. But you can also store the seeds. The seeds are an achene in nature. They quite resemble like a dandelion almost, or like a gerbera. I know some people call them gerberas, but gerbera daisy, the transpal daisy, so it's quite a very similar uh, seed structure. So yeah, so you can also divide these. They don't really need division, but if you have a large clump and you have it in like the side of a rock garden and you want to reproduce this plant or you want to give some of it to plant or to friends, you can just divide it with a little garden fork, and they tend to respond quite well to that. And yeah, so that there's just my introduction to this. It does beautiful in containers, really attracts bees. Some of them are quite fragrant. The fragrance is almost like vanilla, but it just has this really interesting um, feel to it. It's quite exotic. Yeah, so that there's just my introduction to Gazania, and I just wanted to show you guys my cute little blanket flower here. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for the support. Sorry, I just gotta put that down there. I really hope I'm interesting, y'all, and I hope that I can teach you guys something new. And I'm trying to be consistent with these, but life is so busy, you know how it is. But I genuinely have a lot of joy in doing this, and some of the comments I've been getting are just so positive, and I really appreciate the support. So you guys have a good day, stay safe, my friends, and stay blessed.